so many other people out there who inspire me, and one of the people I can say is one of my heroes is Baby Bash. I now write for Blade magazine, and you know, I had the opportunity to be an entertainment reporter, and I knew the first person who I wanted to interview, one of the first hip-hop stars was you. So I'm really excited for this privilege and to say that what you do with music and what you do with other people is awesome. So thank you so much.
Oh, good. Well, thank you. Thank you for the kind words. You know what I'm saying? I'm just, I just try to do my thing, try to keep it moving.
Well, I understand. I just know sometimes we get in the routine and, you know, we just do it, but sometimes you have to take your time to just breathe and realize that, you know, and just enjoy the fruits of your labor, and you inspire. You know, people look at you and your music, and that's amazing. So thank you for that. So with that, you know, you're a busy guy, and you've been in the game for quite some time, but how do you stay so fresh? Like you're one of those versatile rappers. How do you stay that way?
You know, I just think, I've been lucky to have my career has been pretty long. You know, compared to in rapper years, it's pretty long career. I don't know how. I mean, you know, I don't have a plan. I don't have a recipe. I'm always just, you know, I'm always staying current. I always reinvent. You know, I mean, every couple of years the music changes, so I'm not scared to reinvent myself. I'm not scared to try a different type of sound or something, you know, because I'm more than a rapper. I'm more artist than a rapper. You know, I don't really. The rap is like the last thing I worry about. I'm more of a songwriter. I like to make my song complete, and so I'm more about the song than I am the rap. You know what I'm saying? So I think that helps me. My ego's not, you know, not as big as me trying to be Mr. Big Time Rapper, but I create the song. I write my hooks. I write my bridges. I write my choruses, and to me, it's all about building a song than it is building the rap.
That's awesome. You have a lot of amazing songs. One song that comes to my mind that I thought was quite different was Cyclone. Like, you know, what inspired you to write that song? That song is just. I thought it was a different song, but I thought it was unique in a way because, and that was really pushing the bar, and I was doing something different. But all of a sudden, it's like hot. It was, you know, one of the #1 ringtones, and still to this day, I still hear that song. So like, what gives you the inspiration to make songs like that? Just the analogy, move your body like a cyclone, and you know, been going to the clubs and just seeing the way girls move their body, and you know, it's just like, wow, how did you come up with that?
Actually, the word I got inspired the word from a reggae group called Steel Pulse.
Okay.
Steel Pulse is one of my favorite reggae groups, and they have a song called Stepping Out, which is probably one of my favorite songs of all time. It's called Stepping Out, and it's a break. The singer goes, Cyclone, hurricane, whoop, and I always liked that bridge, so I always would sing to myself like Cyclone. That's why even when you hear the word, she move her body like a cyclone, it almost has still like a calypso islander sound to it. Of course, yeah. You know what I mean? So I always had that word in my head, and Lil Jon, you know, I met Lil Jon. Lil Jon wanted to work with me, and Lil Jon gave me a CD full of beats. He gave me like 20 beats, and he gave me a CD, and the first one I played was a Cyclone beat, and right when I played the beat, in my head I go, she move her body like a cyclone, and I tried to do like the reggae style, and it went perfect, and then I had my DJ sing it for me and demo it for me, and then it was pretty quick. It actually worked pretty quick, so yeah, it was actually a reggae group called Steel Pulse that had the word in my head. I just always had the word in my head. I never had the right beat until Lil Jon gave it to me. That's crazy.
Big ups to Lil Jon. You know, I do know that you're a you're a friendly guy, and you love your friends and you love your family. Now that you're a big celebrity, did you find it hard to be there for all your friends? I mean, is it hard sometimes? I know you like to include everyone. Is it sometimes hard to do that sometimes?
Well, it's not hard to be cool with everybody. It's hard to make everybody happy. You know what I'm saying? You know, a lot of people expect more than I can do and stuff like that. And you know, of course, everybody wants something, and I try my best. But I still, you know, I've never changed the way I am towards people. I've never, you know, put my chin up in the air to nobody, and I've never turned down an autograph. I've never turned down a picture in my life. I can always, you know, and I know many artists. Big time artists I've seen actually do that to people, but I have a privilege to say I've never caught no one's eye and turned down an autograph or a picture in my whole life. And you know, I don't consider myself a celebrity. I don't consider myself anything. I consider myself just kind of a normal guy. I think I'm more like the normal guys
You know, you may not know this, but you kind of you have a whole soul. Like I remember seeing you perform a while ago, but I like the classic artists like Smokey Robinson and all the people from the 60s and 70s. They had hit songs, but they were still going about their business, doing everything. They were still, still going to the same barbershop. They didn't let it change them, and I think that's cool about you. You haven't let the music change you. You definitely have changed the music industry. Don't get me wrong, and you influence, and people want to be like you. But it has not changed you, and that's kind of cool to see that you're still a very family-oriented person, and you're still a friendly guy, and you just have a heart for people. Which is kind of hard for people to see, especially in the hip-hop community. And as a rapper, people have this facade or this perception, and, it's not till you actually hear a person like you actually speak it, they can say, oh, that's not really true.
Yeah, you're exactly right. And by the way, I'm a big Smokey rapper. I'm a big doo-wop fan, big oldies. I grew up, all my cousins, when I was a little kid, all my cousins were more cholos, like hardcore cholos, right? And the hardcore cholos, they used to listen to the doo-wop songs in the 50s and 60s. So I think that helps me write music, because I think watching them get off, when I was a little kid, I'd sneak around and just try to hang around them, and they'd listen to a bunch of old hats. They'd hang around with their gang and then have the oldies playing. And I think in my head, it got me into the doo-wop sound. I think that's why I'm a good songwriter, because, it kind of inspires me from the old 50s and 60s sound. And I'm a big Smokey Robinson fan, so I'm glad you like that. And I just, like you said, I've seen so many artists and athletes be assholes to fans, and I think it makes me even more of a nice guy when they do that. You know what I mean? I kind of go off that. I do so many shows. I've been around so many famous people, and I've seen how much, when the camera's on, they're nice, and when the cameras are off, they're jerks. And I think that makes me even more of a nice guy, when the camera's off, because I don't want to be like them.
I want to ask you some more questions about what's coming up with your music and everything. I'm really eager to hear about that. But I really want to know, like, we were sitting watching 106 in Park, and we see somebody, we're like, are rappers, are all rappers, that's all is girls and parties? Is it all about that? Like, and I can imagine you probably have thousands of girls at your feet all the time. Like, how do you handle that? How do you handle all that?
I was one of the guys, one of the few artists who, I don't want to say nothing crazy, make myself sound crazy, but even when I was poor and broke, and before I was a rapper, I always had girlfriends. Like I always had a lot of girlfriends before I was Baby Bash. So I think that helps me, that I didn't go crazy over the girls when I got my celebrity status. I think it helped me not become Mr. Crazy. Believe me, I love the ladies, and I get my share, but I don't go super crazy over it, because I've already had girlfriends. It wasn't my big thing. A lot of artists, they don't really have girlfriends until they blow up, so they kind of make up for lost time, and they try to go crazy. And and I'm a logical person. I smell the gold diggers from a mile away, and
that was my next question. Like, is it hard? Like, if you're giving an interview, you see I like this type of girl, this type of girl. I'm pretty sure like hundreds of girls come out just because you say you like girls with brown hair and girls who like to dance. So you probably get every girl trying to be that. Is that often?
Yeah. It's pretty lucky, I consider it I'm a lucky dude when it comes to that. But it's pretty tight.
You practice self-control.
Yeah. Like I said, I can smell trouble from a mile away. I wouldn't mess with all these crazy groupie chicks who mess with a bunch of other artists. If I see that type of thing going on, then I'm no, I don't care how good they look. Just logically, I don't get involved, because I'm not into the drama. I'm not into the theatrics. I'm not into the trying to live the rock star life. And I think that makes my career go longer. I think that helped my career, that I'm not trying to be Mr. Dude. I think. I like to work. I'm a workaholic, and and I think that helps me not. But it is a great benefit to have. It is a great benefit to have. All the girls chasing me.
Yeah, back to your music. Like I said before, like you remind me of an old artist, because one thing I like about Muddy Waters or Ike and Tina or those many great R&B and pop singers, even Carlos Santana, they worked hard before they made it big, and when they made it big, it didn't change them. It was just like working, and that's how. Is it like that for you?
Yeah, you know what? I think it helped me that I got my. I got my deal when I was like 26, 20, instead of getting my deal when I was 18 or 19, I was kind of already grown when I got my deal and shit. I think that helped me a lot.
That helped.
I was grinding for years, before I got my deal, so I knew what it took. It's not like I had an overnight success, you know what I mean? I was doing this when I was 16, 17 years old, so it took almost 10 years to even get my record deal to get what I want to do, and I think that also helped me steer me in the right direction. And I was a grown man when I got my deal. I wasn't a little kid thinking it was going to last forever. You know, a lot of youngsters, they get a deal, they think they're God, they think they're the next big thing, and the next thing you know, what goes up must come down, and they go up fast and they go down fast. And
that's one of my pet peeves. And you know, I'm a recording artist, and you know, I had a top 30 dance song, and it was like, everything's cool, you know, but I never thought I was better than you. I always want to learn and look up to that. I see a lot of artists now, I'm not hating on them, but they say, I have swag, I have this. Like, no, you were not. You work. I think swag is something you work hard for, and I think Baby Bash has swag. Now, I'm not kissing your butt. I think you are one of those artists who can actually walk with your head up and say, no, I worked for this. I paved the way. You paved the way for people like me who didn't really have a direction. I was one of those bullied teenagers, but I said, you know what? If this person can do it, I can do it too. So that I am feeding your ego, and I'm feeding your ego the right way because you are an inspiration. So what's happening with their music now? What's coming up? What's new?
Thank you. Well, I'm glad you overcame that. That's good. You sound strong. You sound good. Yeah. You know, and another story of my career is, like, I'm not the most famous. You know, even a lot of my managers will always want me to go get in the limelight. I'm kind of a chill guy, and I never really wanted to be Mr. Diva. You know what I mean? I never want to get no craziness, and I think that it keeps me cool, keeps my grind up, and you know, keeps my grind moving. You know what I mean? Steady. I've never been over the top. You know, a lot of people might know my songs, so some people don't even know I sing certain songs, like Out of Control with Pitbull, or Cyclone, or, you know, I'll do a concert and people will come up to me and say, oh my God, I didn't know you sang that song too, or I didn't know you sang What Is It with Sean Kingston, I didn't know you did this too. It's kind of the story of my career is like people know my music more than they know my name, which is cool with me. I like it because I like to blend in. I like to be a regular guy, so I think that helps my career. But
that's amazing.
I got a new single coming out it's called Vegas Nights.